pulling up to our property. I'm about to pull out the Moasure device and get a survey on. So we'll tell you a little bit more how the Moasure works and how we use it in our design process. Oh, it's too high. Bring it all the way down. That's all we got. We took out the other one. All right, so we got our Moasure here device. Like I said, it's our equipment that we use for surveying the property, getting the data points that we need, and implement it in our design to build process. So, cool thing about this Moasure device is, as you're collecting your data points, is basically tracing your steps out and drawing it out for you, making it very user-friendly and streamlined to generate a report. So it's really, really powerful. The accuracy is up to 99.7%. So, I mean, it can really compete with some professional equipment out there. And so we're about to use it here on our first phase of our project. It's a 1.1 acre property that we're going to survey. And we're planning on building 4 cabin style tiny home living. We have a lake on the other side here that will clean up our foliage. Excellent. So yes, great powerful tool here that I'm about to show you here. This like Moasure device comes in, all your equipment fits right in one bag, so makes it very, very user friendly. And so here with the kit, it'll come with a stick, a walking stick, where you'll be able to walk around and get your data points. It'll come with a base that houses the GPS device, which we'll be using to map out the property, map out the elevation changes for the phase 1 of this project here. So this device here, we use it in this base to, again, measure the property. It also can be used to measure out the perimeter of a home, and you'll walk down the walls of the home to measure the perimeter and the data points of that project. So we're about to get ready. We're gonna set up our starting markers. We got our Moasure tucked in to the base here. The Moasure is measured by this point here. I'll pull it out just so I can show y'all. We have 4 corners of your measuring device, and the Moasure is measured by this tip here. And so that's the edge that you want to use as your marking device for your points. So we get that fitted in as close to the matching shape, so everything can track as accurate as possible. So we'll grab this, we'll get our starting markers, and let's get ready for our first measurement. Keep it going. Oh,
nice.
All right, we're here at our first point. I got our marker set there, because that's where I'm going to set our first marker before we start taking off and making our first line. I got the app open, and so the walking stick has a phone clip here, so you can monitor the app, monitor the activity that's going on through the measuring device. Okay. So to get started, you'll see on the screen, waiting to connect. At this point, you'll raise it up and you'll turn it to the side, little rotation until that blue light comes on. And from there, you want to set it in your starting point. As you can see, with an accurate measurement, it makes it crystal clear why this is critical. Now it says start measuring. So I'm about to take my first step. And you'll see on the screen when to stop. So now it calculated that length of a 16.6 feet length. So that's where I will set my marker. So now we'll continue around the perimeter, and it will capture the data, it'll capture the elevation, and it'll produce a mapping of what we just walked. Here we go. So as you're walking, probably within 4 seconds, you want to stop and let it capture the point. It takes like 2 seconds to capture the point, and then you'll continue to walk. Doing your best to set it down on flat ground so it can capture its point. So you don't want to swing it around. You want to kind of try to hold it loosely and let it just float to its capture point. And you see my screen as it just continues capturing the path that we're going down. My hand, when you set it down on the ground, that's kind of what you want to do because it allows the device to stay still and capture the data. If the device is still moving, well, it's going to continue to capture data. So there's a little arm at the bottom that allows the device to stabilize when it lands on the ground. So it's up to you to be still at the top so the device captures data. So we'll continue on. And just marking the area that we're going to be designing and preparing the grounds for. So the whole project will consist of going all over there as well. But we're doing this project in phases. So this is the first phase, surveying. So as I'm going from point to point, there's a little green indicating light at the base. And so I'm gonna go to my point right here. And so it'll turn red saying it's thinking, and then it'll turn green again saying, let's go. So I'm gonna come right here, make sure I mark this fence. Got that turned up, and then now we'll go up. What are we doing here? Just walking down the fence line and marking the perimeter. We're getting the perimeter, we're getting the elevation. Get the elevation changes, and at the end of this, it's gonna print out a pretty detailed report right there on the spot of what you just mapped out. And so some really powerful new equipment that kind of give you a good idea of your property. Now that I mention it, there is audio. I guess I have it turned off right now. Of a metronome, letting you know how many seconds have passed by, and letting you give you an idea of when it's time to sit it down. Now, this is not a hard job. I just sweat easily. So if you see me sweating, you know it's just because I sweat easily. This is very easy. Really good if you had a playlist of your own. You'll really have a good time, catch a vibe while getting critical information. All right, now that we finished our perimeter walk around, Moasure instantly creates these reports, showing you the shape that you walked, showing you data points that was collected. It also creates a contour survey drawing of the elevation contour lines. It creates a 3D surface image where you can see the shape of the property. And then it also provides a cut fill volume mapping showing you where it is needed to be addressed for ground improvements, which is critical for drainage plans and elevation planning. With that being said, we want to get some more data points for the property for the elevation changes. So we will add a layer. Moasure allows you to add layers on top of what you already mapped out. So it starts by going back to your start point where you measured your first initial points to get a calibration. And then from there, you will see on our screen, we changed it to points to collect random data points around throughout the property for gathering the data that's needed to provide all the elevation changes within the property. This will support the elevation data for preparing the grounds for the future builds to come. This property will be constructing 4 identical cabins for the Lakeview stay here. And so in preparation, we want to make sure that the grounds are sloped correctly towards the lake and no pools of water are developed. Now I just sweat easily, but it ain't a hard job, I promise you, man. You get your nice little steps in, probably 25-30 minutes. You can get the perimeter, and you can probably pepper the area with elevation data points, 30 minutes, in and out, and you'll be walking away with some great data for your design concepts. And so we'll take this data, we'll go through the reports and the app features as well, and we'll show y'all how we're going to use this and integrate it into Revit and make these designs come to life. So Ryan Johnson with Universe Digital Designs, thank you for tuning in today. We got more to come with this.
Hey, smart. Instinct.